Hello and welcome to my Start Harp little sneaker peek video or little taster video, and I'm going to be looking at some ideas from level 3 in this video. In level 3 we have a focus on learning about sharps and flats and how to modulate change keys with levers and pedals, and we also look at some what I call moving on techniques, so just a little bit further into harp technique, including harmonics and damping and slides, 4-finger slides, finger 2 slides in fact as well, thumb slides. And we do theory on looking at pedal charts and writing them out. We look at the circle of fifths, joining pieces together, key signatures, and we do some spotlight on things. We talk about practice techniques, avoiding aches and pains, how to extend repertoire quickly, preparing to perform, and learning to sort of teach yourself in a way. So we do loads of things, but I picked 2 things to show you in this little sneak peek. So in one of the pieces that we do is called the Purcell Ground. And the bass line that we learn, the ground in it, has, you're working around down in this part of your harp. Now, I'm an electric harp, so it's particularly obvious here, but it can get rather muddy if you've got lots of different notes all resonating. So one of the things is we look at damping. Now, I'm sure if you're watching this video, and if you haven't, don't worry, but I'm sure many of you will have done work on like a 2-fade thumb position, or maybe doing the whole hand, doing octaves. But there are other ways that you can damp, and so I thought I'd show you that. So let's just imagine we got to do these 3 notes. Okay, we're going to imagine we're going to go C, G, C in the bass. So find the lowest C, G, C on your harp. If you're on a pedal harp, maybe actually just go like 2 octaves below middle C or something like that. But we're just going to practice doing that little pattern and listen to the overring. So just on your harp, just play that C and then G and then C. So lots of ringing. Does it carry on? I hope so. Okay, so obviously we can clean up our sound by damping. That makes the sound go away. The resonating, the strings stop moving, don't they? But how about this then? We're going to do sort of isolated sounds damping or single note damping. We're going to play, instead of going 1 on that C, G, C, instead of going 1, 2, 4. Okay, I'm going to ask you to try it like this. I'm going to ask you, actually, let's do it all with 2 because it'll be easier that way. We're going to go 2 on the C, playing the 2, and then we're going to do 2 on the G. Let's just think about that first of all. So this is just finger 2, 2 on C, try it in your own time, and then 2 on G. This time we're going to do 2 on C, and then as you play the 2 on the G, you're going to pop your thumb back on the C where you just left off. Okay? So as you play, it's a place and play moment. So placing and playing at the same time, place and play. C, and then place and play. So what happens is, instead of hearing those 2 notes running together, you hear just the G. You heard the C on its own, and then you hear just the G on its own. Now, if we were going to be really good, we'd swap to finger 3 in the bass now for the next one. But if you now do the C on its own, play the C with either finger. I'm going to use finger 3 because it's the interval of the 5th and it's the default fingering. But if you wanted to use 2 all the way down, for the sake of trying this out, I'm sure that's okay, but I personally would recommend a 3. This time we're going to do 2 on the C, 2 on the G, and then 3 on the C in the bass. As you play the C, put the thumb onto the G. So again, we've only got the C ringing now. So just to explain that one more time, we played with the C with the 2, and then we went to land the 2 on the G. As we play the G, we put the thumb back onto the C note. So we've cleaned up our sound. And then we're going to put finger 3 now onto the C, or 2 if you're wanting to use 2 all the way. And then as we play that C, we're going to put the thumb on the G, so that we only have the C finishing off. So instead of getting at the end of the piece, running into each other, which you might like, and I mean, I really do like that sometimes, but sometimes it's nice to go, and then maybe have a little damp at the end as well. And it's very tidy, neat playing. How about that? So I really like that. I believe Salcedo called these isolated sounds. Or along that line anyway of the terminology. And it's just another way of doing it. So you can figure out different fingers. If you were doing, say you were doing G, you were coming up the harp, so say we're doing the other way up. Let's do it the other way up. Say you were going C and then G and then C. Then you could work out a way that would be comfortable for that. You might do 3 on the C, or 2 on the C. It really wouldn't matter which finger you did there. And then on the next one, you might play thumb on the G whilst placing 3 on the C, perhaps. I'm sure you could choose lots of different things. And then again, here we could put 2 or 3 onto the G as we play the C. So you can do it the other way around as well. My C is slightly out of tune, apologies for that. So I just really like this as an option when you want to be very, very, very tidy and clean in your playing. Okay, which I'm not a lot of the time, as you may well know. Okay, so the second little favourite little hack that I love in level 3, I think this is also my technique booster course, Explore, Revive, Reflect. And I'm pretty sure this, I definitely got this direct from one of my previous teachers, so thank you, whoever that was. I think this was from Val, so thank you, Val. Okay, so if you were going, lots of us when we're playing the harp, we hear, or when we were learning to play, when we're going to learn to play the harp, we might hear lovely rolled chords, which are beautiful, aren't they? Or we might hear them very fast. Or we might hear them very slowly, which kind of almost makes them an arpeggio, doesn't it? They're beautiful. We might hear them going downwards. I love the downward ones. Aren't they beautiful? Underused downward rolled chords. Anyway, right, I'm digressing. So what I wanted to share with you is one of my tips that's in this class, where we look at how to work on your rolled chords, because we hear them played, when we're learning, and we think, well, I know I did anyway, like, I want to be able to play rolled chords, I want them to sound even, and then I remember going to play them and it came out as or whatever, they didn't come out where I wanted them to. And so this is a little hack for you. So let's make it as complicated as possible to start with. Ha 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 ha. No, almost, we won't really. I'd like you to put C, E, G, C on in the left. Okay, C, E, G, C in the left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Placed, all prepared. Everybody's on the strings. All the fingers on the strings. In the right, could you put in a first inversion chord? So E, G, and C. First inversion C chord. So you got E, G, C. So you're just going up the C arpeggio on this. If you're a more advanced player, then please put 4 fingers on in the right. You can put E, G, C, E. Although it will make this slightly confusing when I'm talking through it, but that's something you can practice. You can practice with all 4 fingers. Okay, so you put all the fingers on that you want to do the rolled chord is. So you've got a piece of music where you want to do a rolled chord. Okay, and you want to work on making it as even as possible. I'm just listening to mine and thinking, I'm not sure I think I'd like to practice those again. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to practice just playing the 4th finger first, okay, just 4. So think about your hand position, is everything where you want it to be? Your thumbs up, your fingers down? Are you bending from the 2nd joint? Are you nice and relaxed? And can you just play that 4th finger 4 times on its own? And it might feel a bit awkward. So really check in on your placing as you're doing this, and check in on your relaxation as you're doing this to make sure you're comfortable. Okay, once you've done it 4 times, then play with playing it as swiftly as you can whilst having control. Play C, E, C, E, and then place again. C, E, C, E. And just as an aside, when I work with people on this, often I notice that it's putting the fingers back on that's actually the biggest challenge. And of course, what this means is that it really helps us work on our placing and our tiny movements, because it's millimeters of difference, isn't it, with our fingers, that will help us when we're working on placing. Once you've done that 4 times, then you do C, G, C, G, C, G, and I find it can help to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to add in. Once you've done that, you're going to add in the thumb. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you get the idea. You're now going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you're going to do the last note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm kind of trying to get these to be kind of da 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 da, really rhythmical. Taka 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 taka, taka 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 taka. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and once you've done all of that, then try it as the roll. what this seems to do over time, if you practice this every day for like 2 weeks, whatever, is it just seems to really help us. It's like the signaling between our brain and our fingers. It just seems to allow it to connect up and make it easier to fire off the fingers when we want them. If you like that idea, I love to do a warm-up where I go through the chords and doing different things, but one of the sets that I do is I do a set of rolled chords. Happening today with loads of buzzes. But there we are, we shall just forget that for a moment. And you can obviously practice this going down as well, where you'd add in one more each time. So then you're practicing your rolled descending chords, and mine I can hear are nowhere near as even as my upward ones. Ugh. So that's my job to go away and work on those. But it works the same way, the same idea. So there we are. There's just two of my two favourite little techniques really from level 3, rather than a tune or anything. But we do, I think we do, is it 8 or 10 tunes? I think probably do 8 tunes in this course because the first piece takes up 2 weeks. It includes the At Kinkum piece, which I'll play you. Let me play a little tiny bit of At Kinkum. So that's the first piece we do, and there are obviously lots of other pieces in the course too. There we are. I hope you've enjoyed the little sneak peek, and I hope you've enjoyed those 2 little technique ideas, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you online soon. My name is Shelley Fairplay. I hope to see you online at some point in the not too distant future. Thank you.